time, dude? What are we doing? All right. Dude, forehead reveal. All right. We're on multi-stream chat. I'm going to say hi. 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 Bam. Bam. Check that out. Then if I wanted to, bam. That comes up. And then there's bam. Bam. But we'll exit out of there for now. Yeah. This is where we're at. We were on chapter 5. Now we're on chapter 6. All right. What else? Brave browser. ACX. All right, I'll bring you guys over. You ready? You ready? Check this out. Check this out. Shwa! Intermission. I want to change the text on that, but I have no idea how to do it. All right. Camera. Windows capture. All right, let's change this Windows capture to Brave browser. There we go. Check it out. That's what we're working on. This is what we're working on. So today, a couple different things. I recently got this message. It goes Friday. Was that Friday? Whatever it was. I had a book go live. So Blackjacks and Craps. Dude, I was really hoping that we would August 1st, yeah, so yesterday. I was really hoping that the book I was working on now could be completed by the time that went live. But, it is what it is. That book went live yesterday, August 1st, so we're going to have 2 books released in August maybe. We'll see. I don't know. Sales overview. I don't think we have any sales this month. That has completed. It went through the rounds, so that went live August 1st. So we got March, April, May, and then none for June, none for July, and then August 1st. So we got some stuff to keep it up on. All right, what else? In production, we have a couple of different projects in production right now. Right now, we're working on Poker Math for Advanced Players, book 3 from Stephen McMasters. That's the one we're gonna do today. But then we also have this one, How to YouTube. We have Secret Codes of the Mind, Legal Foundations, and Medical Law Technologies. So we got a few. We got a sales overview for the month of July. Why July? We started off strong with 2 on the first day and then hit a couple highs. We had 3 on the 14th and 3 on the 20th. A few twos. and then a couple ones. So we had in total 25 sales for the month of July. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. Pretty super sick. Super sick. Half of those was the Blackjack book. Pretty much the other half was Baccarat, but then apart from that, we had some Red Light Therapy, Revolution, and a couple different biohacking guides in there as well. I think the Gen AI and the philosophical methods were promotional sales, but it is what it is. We love to see it. We love to see it. Okay. Back on over to the recording stream. This is where we're at. We're going to start with chapter 6. I also wanted to see if Kick was being broadcasted too. Dude, it was such a bummer. I was carrying around my external hard drive, and that thing just like, wait, is this duplicated? Duplication? No, we're good. Yeah, my external hard drive just like flopped onto the hard surface of the ground though, so it was really sad to see that. Really sad to see that. New year, new me. My Face ID doesn't work. Okay. All right. Oh wow, look at that, up to 6 terabytes of cloud storage. Wow, for only $12.99 a month, dude. Microsoft, you were the worst. You were the worst program I've ever had the misfortune of using. Get out of here. $12.99 a month, dude. Imagine being a fucking boomer. All right, here we go. Oh yeah, I gotta pay $12.99 a month for Microsoft Word, word processing. You gotta have a word processor, dude. Imagine being a fucking boomer. Chapter 6: Deep Stack Strategy. Math for high stakes play. In poker, the depth of your stack Dude, should we warm up? Should we actually warm up before we do this? Hold up. Should we actually warm up before we do this? Let's see if I have any Kick chat. Kick.com/OGEGO. Dude, you're the worst. All right, cool. So I'm actually broadcasting. Okay, cool. Cool. We're on a followers only. Yeah, sorry guys. Somebody messaged me recently. They were like, "Why the fuck why do you have followers only? You suck." I said, "Yo, because I get so many bots on Kick that I may as well benefit with a follow from the bots, okay? Those are the only people that comment on Kick. It's just a bunch of bots." I wish I got Kick Chat in here, though. That'd be pretty sick. All right, I'm going to refresh chat. Dictation drills. Breath work. Sit up, stand up straight, inhale deeply. Lip trills, motorbout sounds, 15 seconds. Stick tongue out, side to side, up and down. Exaggerate chewing or yawning motions. Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's the clip. That's the clip. Okay. All right. I think we're good. All right. I think we're gold. 24 karat golden. We're golden. We're golden. All right, guys. Diction and clarity. You ready to get dick down? Dictionary. Dictionary. All right. Proper performers. Proper performers practice precisely to prevent pointless repetition. Proper performers practice precisely to prevent pointless repetition. Proper performers practice precisely to prevent pointless repetition. All right, Bill's Big Bets built a better blackjack bankroll. Bill's Big Bets built a better blackjack bankroll. Bill's Big Bets built a better blackjack bankroll. Smoother speech saves stories from sounding stilted. Smoother speech saves stories from sounding stilted. Smoother speech saves stories from sounding stilted. Okay, those are our warm-ups. Those are our warm-ups. Now, let's get to the recording. Excuse you. All right. Chapter 6. Chapter 6. Deep Stack Strategy. Chapter 6. Chapter 6. Deep Stack Strategy. Deep Stack Strategy. Math. Math for high-stakes play. In poker, the depth of your stack isn't just a number. It's the ultimate lever for controlling the flow of the game. When you're sitting with a deep stack, you're not just playing for the short-term pot. You're engaging in a far more intricate long-term battle of positioning, pressure, and patience. A deep stack strategy changes everything about how you approach poker, both mathematically and strategically. In this chapter, we're going to delve deep. We're going to delve deep. Deep delves with AI. Deep delves with AI. You know something's written with AI if it starts off with, let's take a deep delve. Let's delve deep. Buckle up, because we're about to delve deep. Yeah, I'm sure most people say that. Buckle up, because we're about to delve deep. Deep fake, more like. Come on, bro. You're saying this as if like we can't see what you're doing. What are you doing here? Buckle up, because we're about to delve deep. It's not just about delving deep, it's about diving deep and delving deeper. In this chapter, we're going to delve deep into the mathematics behind deep stacked play, covering key concepts such as bet sizing, risk reward calculations, and expected value adjustments, all of which will help you dominate at the high stakes table. What is deep stack play? Let's begin by defining what we mean by deep stack play. In poker, a deep stack refers to a situation where the effective stack size, the smallest stack involved in the hand, is large relative to the blinds. For example, at a $1 per $2 no-limit Texas Hold'em, at a $1/$2 no-limit Texas Hold'em table, where the blinds are $1 and $2. A deep stack might be anything from 100 big blinds BB to 500 BB or more. This is significantly deeper than the typical play, where the stack sizes might range from 50 BB to 100 BB. Why does this matter? The deeper your stack, the more post-flop play you can afford to make. And the less you need to commit to each hand early on. In short, when you have a deep stack, you can afford to be more patient, make more strategic bets, and apply more pressure to your opponents. You're not just betting for the immediate pot, but setting up larger pots, maximizing implied odds, and manipulating the flow of the game to your advantage. But with great stack depth comes great responsibility. Deep stack strategy is all about understanding how the increased depth of your stack affects your decision across every street. How to manage risk, and how to adjust bet sizing to extract maximum value while controlling risk. Let's break down how the math changes when you have a deep stack and dive into the various strategic components that go into deep stacked poker. Bet sizing. The heart of deep stack strategy. The heart of deep stack strategy. One of the biggest challenges, one of the biggest changes when you're deep stacked is how you approach bet sizing. With a larger stack, you have more room to maneuver, but you also need to adjust your bets to optimize your chances of winning. Bet sizing in a deep stack poker. Bet sizing in deep stack poker requires balancing between extracting value, protecting your hand, and maintaining pressure on your opponents. 1. Value betting in deep stack play. When you're holding a strong hand, especially with a deep stack, your goal is to get as much money into the pot as possible without sacrificing your opponents, without scaring your opponents away. This is where value betting becomes an art form. Here's how the math behind value betting shifts when you have a deep stack. With a shallow stack, your bet sizing is often dictated by the pot and the size of the remaining stack, because you can't afford to put too much of your stack at risk. Because you can't afford to put too much of your stack at risk. However, with a deep stack, your primary goal is to build the pot and ensure your opponent is priced in to the call. However, with a deep stack, your primary goal is to build the pot and ensure your opponent is priced in to call. Let's say you're holding an ace of spades and a king of spades. And the board comes king of diamonds, 8 of spades, 4 of clubs. You've flopped top pair with top You've flopped top pair with top kicker, and you want to extract the maximum value from your opponent. If you have a deep stack, the goal should be to increase the pot size in a way that maximizes your value, while keeping your opponent interested in the hand. If the pot size is $100, you might want to bet $50 to build it, rather than betting a small amount like $20. By betting $50, you're signaling strength and making it difficult for your opponent to make an easy fold, while still keeping them in a position where they can commit their stack if they're holding a weaker king, 2 pair, or even a hand like king and queen. But remember, bet sizing is not just about one factor. Context is king. If your opponent is a calling station, the larger bet will make more sense. If they're more of a folding player, you may want to tone down your bet sizing and bet a little smaller to extract value without scaring them off. 2. Bluffing and semi-bluffing with a deep stack. On the flip side, deep stacks give you the room to bluff and semi-bluff effectively. A smaller stack limits the amount of leverage you can use, but with more chips, you can apply pressure over multiple streets. The math behind bluffing in a deep stack situation becomes much more nuanced. While it's true that bluffing with a deep stack is riskier, it's also more effective because you have more room to vary your bet sizes and manipulate your opponent's range of hands. It's also more effective because you have more room to vary your bet sizes and manipulate your opponent's range of hands. Manipulate your opponent's range of hands. Here's an example to clarify. Suppose you have queen of clubs and jack of spades. Suppose you have queen of clubs and jack of spades on a board of 10 of spades, 7 of spades, and 2 of diamonds. You have an open-ended straight draw, and your opponent leads out with a medium-sized bet. Instead of just calling, you decide to raise with the intention of semi-bluffing. The math here tells you that even if you are called, you still have 16 outs, 9 of spades, and any 9 or 8 to complete your straight. And your opponent might have a weak hand. Like a pair of sevens, or an overcard, meaning they can fold to pressure. The deep stack allows you to raise bigger than you. The deep stack allows you to raise bigger than you might. The deep stack allows you to raise bigger than you might in a shallow stack scenario, applying more pressure without committing too much of your stack. If your opponent folds, you win the pot immediately. If they call, you still have plenty of chips to chase your draw. Making the risk-reward dynamic much more favorable. Risk-reward calculations. Managing the risk of a big stack. With a deep stack, one of the most crucial aspects of your decision making is managing the risk-reward ratio. Since you have more chips at your disposal, you can afford to take more risks, but you also need to be more cautious when committing a significant portion of your stack. Every decision needs to be calculated, and every move should have a positive expected value, EV. 1. Pot committed decisions. As your stack grows deeper, the decision to commit to a pot becomes much more complex. While you have more leverage to draw and apply pressure, you also need to be careful in deciding how much of your stack you're willing to risk on a single hand. Let's say you've raised pre-flop with ace of spades and queen of spades. Let's say you've raised pre-flop with an ace and queen of spades. In the flop comes jack of clubs, 9 of spades, and 3 of spades, giving you a gunshot draw and giving you a gunshot straight draw. Giving you a gunshot straight draw and a flush draw. And giving you giving you a gunshot straight draw and a flush draw. Your opponent has bet out and you're facing a sizable bet. Your opponent has bet out and you're facing a sizable bet. The question now is whether to call, raise, or fold, considering the size of your deck. Risk. If you call, you're risking a decent chunk of your stack, but with the potential to hit a straight or flush. Reward. If you hit, you could win a sizable pot as your opponent is likely holding a high pair or a set. Or a set, the implied odds are good here. EV. Using the expected value formula, you can weigh the value of hitting your hand. You can weigh the value of hitting your hand versus the risk of going broke. If the reward, the potential pot, outweighs the risk, your call, then you can make the call with confidence. This is a high risk, high reward situation. This is a high risk, high reward situation. And it's a typical example of a deep stack. Decision where EV calculations become more important. This needs to be on D&D. Expected value adjustments. Calculating long-term success. When you're deep stacked, you can't just think about the hand. When you're deep stacked, you can't just think about the hand at hand. You need to consider your long-term strategy and expected value, EV. The bigger your stack, the more your decisions compound. Expected value, EV, is the key. To understanding whether your decisions are profitable in the long run. It's a mathematical way of quantifying the potential value of a play by taking into account both your probability of winning the hand and the amount of money you stand to win or lose. Let's say you're facing a big bet with king of hearts and queen of. Let's say you're facing a big bet with king of hearts and queen of spades. On a board of 10 of diamonds, 6 of spades, and 4 of clubs. You have an open-ended straight draw. The pot is $200, and your opponent bets $100. Now let's calculate the EV of calling. The pot is $200, and you need to call $100. And you need to call $100. Your pot odds are 2-1, meaning you need to win 33% of the time to make a profitable call. You have 8 outs, or a 9 or a jack. A 9 or a jack to complete your straight. Which gives you about a 16% chance of hitting your draw on the turn. Even though your odds are lower than your pot odds, you still have the potential to win more money on future streets if you hit. And if you call and hit, you're likely to win a much larger you're likely to win a much larger pot, which makes a play which makes a play which makes the play profitable in the long run. This EV calculation shows while you might not win every time, the times you do hit your draw will result in a large enough pot that the call is profitable. Conclusion: mastering deep stack play. Deep stack play adds a layer of Deep stack play adds a layer of complexity and depth to your poker strategy. By understanding the mathematical concepts of bet sizing, risk-reward calculations, and expected value, you can confidently navigate deep stack scenarios. You can confidently navigate deep stack situations and make better decisions over the course of a session. In poker, deep stacks aren't just about having more chips. They're about mastering the math and learning to apply your edge across every street. Whether you're bluffing, value betting, or chasing a draw, the deep stack gives you the ability to make more nuanced decisions, build larger pots, and maximize the potential rewards while managing the risk. Mastering deep stack poker isn't easy. But it's one of the most rewarding skills a player can develop. In the next chapter, we'll dive into another key aspect of high-stakes play: reading opponents and adjusting your strategy to exploit their weaknesses. Stay tuned, because the next chapter is where the real psychological battle begins. Stay tuned. Nah, I like that last one. Chapter 7, huh? 46 out of 66. That means we have 20 more pages left. We could probably do the rest tonight. Tired tomorrow. I think I might siesta until then. Maybe. All right. up, guys? How you doing? How you doing? All right. There we go. There we go. All right. Um. All right. Let's go to the. It's just camera. It's just camera. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go get something to drink real quick. Try and see if I can up the energy level going on because I'm feeling a little low energy tonight, but we'll see where we're at, and we'll see if we could smash chapter 7 when I get back. That's about 5-ish pages, and then we have a conclusion. Oh my gosh. Oh, wow. Never mind. Glossary of terms? Yeah, I'm not reading that. Yeah, actually, most of the remaining pages is, like, references and resources, which I might read that, actually, just for the sake of all that. But that should be easy to read. Yeah, guys, we just have chapter 7, which is like 5-ish pages, and then a conclusion. So I'm gonna go get something to drink real quick. We'll see if I can up the ante, and then we'll be right back with chapter 7, and then probably the conclusion after that. So stay tuned. I'll be right back, guys. I'll be right back. Right back after these messages. The only thing about this thing is that, like, we used to have music play, and I don't have music playing here. I gotta find out a way to play some music here. So if you guys have any, yo, what's up, Timmy? Good to see you, Timmy. Yo. What up, dude? Good to see you, Timmy. Welcome in. Good to have you. We're about to break off for a quick intermission, real quick, but I will be right back, and we'll continue this. So breaking down the math of poker. I'm reading a book that breaks down the math of poker. So I'm a narrator, and I am reading this book that is breaking down the mathematics involved with poker. This is like the third book in the chapter series, so this is kind of like high level stuff, I guess. But yeah, we're doing a lot of that. We're doing a lot of poker math. So stay tuned. I'll be right back. Sorry for the lack of music, but we don't have that at the moment. You know what we could have though? You know what we could have? We can go to recording scene. Hold up, chatting scene. Yo, this is me. Check it out. I'm running a YouTube. Ah, there we go. Dancing gorillas. Okay. I guess we'll have that then. All right, I'll be back, ladies and gentlemen. That's 11 seconds? Bro. Dancing gorilla 10 hours. Yeah. Dude, this is like 41 seconds? Brother, what are we doing here? What are we doing? How about must be 10 hours? Bro, the production value of this is so low at the moment. Yo, why Dancing Gorillas? Because we have to. Because we have to. I'm pretty sure good with math. I'm sure that the books have some sort of high level stuff. I mean, I'm good with math insofar as like I don't know, like advanced calculus goes. And then like this is some with respect to that pretty low level stuff. To be honest, to be honest. Do you stream on anything else? Yeah, I'm currently streaming on Twitch and on Kick as well. So I'm also on those. But once we get TikTok solved as well, we're going to also broadcast to that. We're going to broadcast to that as well. So there's a couple different things that's wrong with this. First of all, 1 hour gorillas dancing. This isn't even the right one. Thank you. Looking for this video for 1 month. Yeah. I guess so. I don't know. Well, I'll be back. I love you. Got to go enjoy reading Poker Math. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Okay, well, we're back. We're back. Didn't really go anywhere. I was going to get a drink, but I don't have access. All right, let's see. Let's turn this down. Let's turn this down just a little bit. Chapter 7. Chapter 7. Putting it all together. Chapter 7. Putting it all together. Solving real poker scenarios with advanced math. Solving real poker scenarios with advanced math. The world of poker isn't just about holding the best hand. It's about knowing when to bet, how much to bet, when to fold, and when to bluff. By now, you've learned a variety of advanced concepts in poker math. By now, you've learned a variety of advanced concepts. By now, you've learned a variety of advanced concepts in poker math, ranging from combinatorics and game theory. ranging from combinatorics and game theory to equity calculations and deep stack strategies. In this chapter, we're going to bring all those concepts together by analyzing real-world poker hands and applying the advanced. In this chapter, we're going to bring all those concepts together by analyzing real-world poker hands and applying the advanced calculations you've learned throughout this book. Poker is a dynamic game where every decision counts, and the ability to apply advanced math to real-world scenarios. Poker is a dynamic game where every decision counts, and the ability to apply advanced math to real-world scenarios is what separates the professionals from the amateurs. With your deep understanding of pot odds, implied odds, reverse implied odds, equity distribution, GTO strategies, and bluffing techniques, you now have the tools to break down hands step by step, make optimal decisions, and fine-tune your play. To consistently outsmart your opponents. Let's dive deep into real poker scenarios and apply advanced math concepts to solve them. We will analyze several hands, walking you through the logic, math, and thought process behind each decision. By the end of this chapter, you'll have a concrete understanding of how to integrate all these concepts and apply them effectively at the table. Scenario 1. The flop decision. Value betting versus checking. You're playing a $2 per $5. You're playing a $2/$5 no limit Texas Hold'em game, and the effective stack size is 150 big blinds, BB. You're in the middle position with ace of diamonds and king of diamonds, and raise to 3x the big bet. And raise to 3 times the big blind, $15. The button, a solid player, calls, and the blinds fold. The pot is now $35, and the flop comes 10 of diamonds, 7 of 7 of spades, and 3 of clubs. You've flopped top pair with top kicker and a backdoor flush draw. The question now is, should you bet for value or check to control the pot? Let's break down the decision using advanced poker math. Pot odds and bet sizing. First, let's consider the pot odds. Your opponent is called pre-flop, so you're expecting them to have a wide range. Of hands, including weaker 10x hands, pairs, including weaker 10x hands, pairs like 9-9 or 6-6, and potential straight draws like Jack Queen. Let's assume your opponent leads out with a bet of $25 into the $35 pot, bringing the pot size to $60. The question is whether you should call or raise. To call, you need to commit $25 into a $60 pot. So the pot odds are equals call divided by pot equals $25 over 60, approximately equal to 0.417 or 41.7%. You now need to assess the equity of your hand. Given the top pair, top kicker, and the backdoor flush draw, your equity is decent, but let's calculate it more precisely. You can estimate your equity by considering the number of outs you have. You have 16 outs. You have 16 outs to improve your hand. Three more diamonds for a flush, plus 9 more cards for a straight, plus 4 tens remaining in the deck. Your opponent may also have a hand like Jack and Queen, which gives them a straight draw. Using equity calculators or applying basic equity formulas, we find that your equity on this flop is around 45%. This is a close call, but if you're getting 41.7 pot odds. But if you're getting 41.7% pot odds, meaning that calling is this is a close call, but you're getting 41.7% pot odds, meaning that calling is profitable in the long run. When to bet for value. However, another consideration is the bet sizing. With your strong hand, you could raise for value. You could also check and plan to bet on later streets, but raising now could charge your opponent for any draws while building the pot. If you choose to bet, you should make a bet that puts pressure on hands like Jack and Queen or weaker pairs. But not so large that you scare away value hands like 10x or 6 and 6. A good bet size here would be around $40 to $45, which represents roughly 70% to 75%, to 75% of the pot. This bet is designed to extract value from weaker hands. And charge straight in flush draws while still keeping worse hands in the pot. The decision, bet or check. With your equity at 45% and the pot odds in your favor, you're better off betting for value. However, checking might be a solid play too if you want to induce a bluff or control the pot. The exact decision depends on your read. On the opponent. But in this scenario, the math suggests that betting for value is the most profitable move. Scenario 2. The turn decision. Applying reverse implied odds. In this scenario, you're playing a deep stack game with $10/$20 no limit Texas Hold'em. The effective stack is 200 BB. You're on the button with 10 of spades. With king of spades, and you're on the button with king and 10 of spades. And you raise to $60. The big blind calls, and the pot is now $130. The big blind calls, and the pot is now $130. The flop comes. Queen of spades, 9 of diamonds, 9 of diamonds, and 2 of clubs. And 2 of clubs. You've flopped on an open-ended straight. You've flopped on an open-ended straight draw, OESD. And there are a lot of potential ways for you to improve. And there are a lot of potential ways for you to improve. And there are a lot of potential ways for you to improve. The big blind checks you, and you decide to bet $90. The big blind checks you, and you decide to bet $90. The big blind calls. The big blind calls. The pot is now $310. The pot is now $310. Now the turn card comes. Now the turn card comes. Jack of hearts. This card has completed your straight, and you now have a straight 9, 10, Jack, Queen, 9, 10, Jack, Queen, King. The question is, what's the best move? What's the best move now? Should you bet for value, or is it too risky? Or is it too risky? Reverse implied odds. Reverse implied odds and risk assessment. If you've hit your straight, but there's a potential problem, you've hit your straight, but there's a potential problem. If your opponent has king and queen, they have a higher straight. If your opponent has king and queen, they have a higher straight. This scenario involves reverse implied odds. Reverse implied odds. Where you're getting value on a hand that may not actually win you the pot in certain situations. Where you're getting value on a hand that may not actually win you in where you're getting value on a hand that may not actually win you the pot in certain situations. The key question is, how should you bet to extract value? How much should you bet to extract value without over-committing? Without over-committing. And what are the odds of your opponent? Holding a higher straight? And And what are the odds of your opponent holding a higher straight? To calculate reverse implied odds, consider the following. Consider the following. If your opponent has a king and a queen, they would have hit a higher straight. If you bet too much, you risk overcommitting on your stack on a hand that might not be the winner. That might not be the winner. Your best course of action is to bet for value. Your best course of action is to bet for value, but make the bet small enough, around 100, around 150 to 180, to extract value from worse hands. Like Queen X or Jack X, but still allow for the possibility of a call from worse hands. But still allow the possibility of a call from worse hands. The decision, bet small. The decision, bet small or large. In this situation, you have to balance. You have to balance the value you can extract with the risk of running into a higher straight. A smaller bet allows you to keep the pot under control. While still getting value from hands like two pairs. Or worse straights. A larger bet would commit you further, and if your opponent holds king and queen, you're likely to lose the pot. Scenario 3, the river decision, bluffing versus. Yo, what's up? Pow 69, how you doing? Welcome in. Good to see you. What's up? Hold up. Can I play with that? Hold up. Oh, dude, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Hold up. See if we can. Can we play it? Bam. Nice. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Pow69, I appreciate you. Thanks for popping in, saying what's up, and dropping a follow. I appreciate you. I'm like super low energy, and I can't get my energy drink from upstairs, so I'm like trying to do this as best as I can. Trying to do this the best I can. But I can like barely see right now, so we're doing what we can with what we got. Bluffing versus value betting. Now let's look at a hand where you have the opportunity to bluff or value bet on the river. You're playing in a $5/$10 no limit game. no limit game with a 100 BB stack. The pot is already quite large, and you're on the river facing a tough decision. The board reads. The board reads 7 of spades, 6 of clubs, 6 of clubs, 4 of diamonds, 4 of diamonds, 5 of spades, and king of hearts. And king of hearts. You have 3 of spades and 8 of spades, completing a straight. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The pot is $600. The pot is $600 and your opponent checks you. Should you bluff or go for a value bet? Or go for a value bet? Should you bluff or go for a value bet? Bluffing in this situation. While you've made the straight, the king on the river could have completed your opponent's. While you've made the straight, the king on the river could have completed your opponent's 2 pair, or they may even have a higher straight. They may even have a higher straight with 8 and 9, or 9 and 10. To make an effective bluff, you need to ask yourself, what hands would your opponent fold? What hands would your opponent fold to? What hands would your opponent fold to a larger bet? What hands would your opponent fold to a large bet? What hands would your opponent fold to a large bet? In this case, your opponent has something like king and queen. They're likely to fold to a big bet because the board shows a They're likely to fold to a big bet because the board shows a potential straight. A potential straight. You can use the math behind fold equity to determine how much to bet. Value betting. However, if your opponent has a hand like 6 or 7, or 5, 8, they could have a lower straight. And a value bet here would likely get paid off. Okay. And a value bet here would likely get paid off. The trick is to size your bet such that you extract the maximum value without turning your hand into a bluff. A bet A bet of about $400 would apply pressure while still leaving room. While still leaving room. While still leaving room for your opponent to call with worse hands. Conclusion. Applying advanced math to real poker scenarios. Applying advanced math to real poker scenarios. Applying advanced math to real poker scenarios. Poker is a game of skill, strategy, and mathematics. By applying the concepts of pot odds, implied odds, reverse implied odds, equity, and bet sizing, you can make more informed decisions that increase your edge over the competition. You can make more informed decisions that increase your edge over the competition. The scenarios you've just analyzed represent real-world hands where advanced poker math can be the difference between a big win and a costly mistake. By consistently applying these concepts and refining your understanding of optimal play through calculation and strategy, you'll be able to make the most profitable decisions at the poker table. The key is to stay disciplined. Be patient, and always keep your opponents range in mind as you calculate. Your next move. Now that you've learned how to solve real poker scenarios using advanced math, you're ready to elevate your poker game. To the highest level. You're ready to elevate your poker game. To the highest level. Now that you've learned how to solve real poker scenarios using advanced math, you're ready to elevate your poker game to the highest level. Happy playing. Cringe. this is probably about the time that I would go and get more water, but I don't have access to original water. So it's just where we're at. Conclusion. 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 Mastering poker math and elevating your game. Mastering poker math and elevating your game. Sometimes I think that life is set up to torture me. Sometimes I think that life is specifically set up to torture me. Conclusion. Mastering poker math and elevating your game. Congratulations. Congratulations. You've made it through the full journey of mastering advanced poker math. And you've armed yourself with the essential tools. And you've armed yourself with the essential tools to take your poker game to a whole new level. To take your poker game to a whole new level. From the foundational concepts of probability and combinatorics to high-level strategies like game theory optimal play, GTO, bluffing, range construction, and equity distribution. You now have the knowledge to outsmart. You now have the knowledge to outsmart your opponents and consistently make. You now have the knowledge to outsmart your opponents and consistently make profitable decisions at the table. Throughout this book, we've not only explored the mathematical concepts that form the backbone of advanced poker strategy, but also how to apply them in real-world scenarios. You've learned how to balance your strategy. Adapt to various opponents, and understand the intricate nuances of deep stack play, pot odds, implied odds, and reverse implied odds. Whether you're value betting, calculating equity, or leveraging bluffing, or leveraging bluffing techniques. Whether you're value betting, calculating equity, or leveraging bluffing techniques, you now have the ability to break down hands with precision and make decisions that maximize your edge. But remember, poker is not just about the math. It's about understanding how to apply these concepts. In the flow of the game, knowing when to adapt your strategy and gaining a sense of situational awareness. True mastery of poker comes from blending these mathematical principles with your intuition and experience at the table. As you continue to grow as a poker player, keep refining your game. Poker is an ever-evolving challenge, and there's always more to learn. The more you practice these advanced concepts, the more natural they will become, and the sharper your decision-making will be under pressure. The ability to think critically and apply advanced math in the heat of the moment. Is what sets elite players apart from the rest of the world, from the rest of the field. So whether you're grinding in cash games, stepping into tournament play, or facing off against tough opponents in high-stakes games. Always remember that math is your secret weapon. Stay disciplined, stay focused, and keep pushing yourself to adapt and refine your strategy. By mastering the art of poker math, you're not just... Holy fucking shit, dude. By mastering the art of poker math, you're not just playing the game. You're not just you're also let's dive deep into this next thing. Let's delve deep. It's not just doing this, it's this, that, this, the other thing. But also, it's this. You're not just doing that, you're delving deep. With this next book, we're going to delve deep into the AI. Blah, blah. Dude, I fucking hate the way this is written. Dude. This fucking sucks. A computer wrote this. You know it did. By mastering the art of poker math, you're not just playing the game, you're mastering it. Now it's time to go out and put everything you've learned into practice. Your opponents won't know what hit them. Good luck, and may the odds always be in your favor. If you've enjoyed poker math for advanced players and found value in it, please take a moment to leave a review. Please take a moment to please take a moment to leave a review on Audible or the Amazon Kindle store or the Amazon Kindle store or the Amazon Kindle store. The Amazon Kindle store. Your feedback helps other serious players like you discover this book and keeps me creating more high-level poker content. More high-level poker content. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your support. Dude, this book fucking blows. Now, I'm not saying that because, like, I'm hating on somebody's writing. I'm saying that because this is obviously AI written. Like, by mastering the art of poker math, you're not just playing the game, M dash. You're mastering it. Shut up. You are a computer. You are a computer. M dash, you're mastering it. What a fucking load of horse shit. You're not just... By delving deep into the art of poker math, you're not just playing the game, M dash. You're mastering it. Now it's time to go out and put everything you've learned into practice. Your opponents won't know what hit them. Like, who speaks that way? Not a singular person you know speaks in this manner. All right, this is a computer. Let's just extract all meaning, all humanity out of a text, and then this is what we're left with, you know. Dude. References and resources. References and resources. Throughout this book, we've covered a wide range of advanced poker concepts and mathematical techniques designed to elevate your game. To continue your journey toward mastery, here are some essential references and resources. Here are some essential references and resources that can help you dive deeper. Into poker theory. Strategy, and mathematics. Books. 1. The Theory of Poker by David Skalansky. One of the most influential books in poker theory. This classic provides a strong foundation in the fundamentals of poker, including the concept of expected value and implied odds. A must read for any serious player. 2. Poker Math That Matters by Owen Gaines. This book focuses on how to use poker math in practical situations, helping players understand pot odds, implied odds, and equity in a straightforward manner. Great for players looking to fine-tune their math skills. 3. Applications of a No-Limit Hold'em by Matthew Jonda. If you're looking to explore the strategic depth of game theory optimal play, This book is for you. Jonda delves into how GTO strategies can be applied to real world poker situations with in depth analysis and examples. And examples. 4. The Mental Game of Poker by Jared Tendler. While not strictly about math, understanding the mental aspects of poker is crucial for executing your strategy. Effectively. Tendler's book is invaluable for learning how to manage tilt and mental toughness. 5. Harrington on Hold'em by Dan Harrington. A comprehensive series that covers both tournament and cash game strategies. Harrington's insights on adjusting your strategy based on hand ranges and opponent tendencies are particularly valuable. 6. The Poker Blueprint by Tree Nguyen and Shane Figueiredo. For players who want to balance theoretical knowledge with practical application, this book helps you understand advanced concepts like equity, pot odds, and how to apply them to develop a strong, well-rounded game. 7. No Limit Hold'em, Theory and Practice by David Sklansky and Ed Miller. A deeper dive into No Limit Hold'em, focusing on critical elements like bet sizing, value betting, and the math of poker. This book is excellent for players who want to improve their decision making using a mathematical framework. Online resources. 1. Upswing Poker. Website: upswingpoker.com. Upswing Poker offers premium training material from top pros like Doug Polk and Ryan Fee. Their blog and course content cover advanced concepts like GTO, equity, and ranges. 2. Poker Strategy. Website: pokerstrategy.com. Poker Strategy is one of the largest online poker communities, offering articles, tutorials, and strategy content. Their interactive poker tools and forums are a great way to learn from other advanced players. 3. Solvers. Poker Solvers. GTO Plus. Available at gtoplus.com. PioSolver. Available at piosolver.com. These solvers are crucial for understanding game theory optimal play. They allow you to input various poker scenarios and explore the best possible strategies for any given situation. 4. 2+2 Forum. Website: 2plus2.com. 2+2 is a treasure trove of poker. 2+2 is a treasure trove of poker strategy discussions. The forums are home to players of all skill levels, including including some of the best poker pros. It's an excellent place to find detailed hand analysis and discussions on advanced topics like pot odds, equity, and ranges. And ranges. 5. Poker Snowy. Website pokersnowy.com. Poker Snowy is an artificial intelligence powered poker training. Poker Snowy is an artificial intelligence powered poker. Poker Snowy is an artificial intelligence powered poker training platform that allows you to improve your strategy through analysis and feedback. It's great for players who want to work on their GTO strategy and play optimally in any situation. 6. Poker Stove. Equity Calculator. Website pokerstove.com. Poker Stove is an equity calculator that helps you analyze hand ranges and compute hand equities in various situations. It's a great tool for understanding equity distributions and making better informed decisions. Videos and podcasts. 1. The Doug Polk Podcast. Website DougInPolk.com. Doug Polk, a world-class poker pro, shares his thoughts on poker strategy, the mental game, and interviews with top players. His insights are valuable for anyone looking to improve their poker skills, especially at the advanced level. 2. Jonathan Little's Poker Coaching. Website pokercoaching.com. Jonathan Little is a well-known poker coacher. Jonathan Little is a well-known poker coach and author. His podcast and video content cover a wide range of topics, from the fundamentals to advanced strategies. With a focus on improving your decision-making process. 3. Red Chip Poker. Website redchippoker.com. Red Chip Poker offers high-quality training videos, strategy articles, and podcasts. The content is well suited for players looking to take their skills to the next level. With expert analysis of key concepts like GTO, equity, and more. 4. Card Player Poker Podcast. Website cardplayer.com. Card Player's podcast brings poker news, analysis, and in-depth discussions with top players. A great resource for staying up to date on the latest trends and strategies in the poker world. Tools and software. Tools and software. 1. Equalab. Website pokerstrategy.com. Equalab is an equity calculation tool that helps you analyze poker hands and ranges. You can input scenarios and see how different hands perform against each other, allowing for better decision making. 2. Flopzilla. Website, flopzilla.com. Flopzilla is Flopzilla is an incredible tool for analyzing hand ranges and equity. It helps you visualize how various hands perform on the flop and how to adjust your ranges based on opponent tendencies. 3. Hand History Review Tools. Website, handconverter.com. Reviewing your hand history is crucial for improving your hand play. Hand history review tools like Hand Converter allow you to upload and analyze hands to see if you made the optimal decisions. Forums and communities. 1. Reddit r/poker. Website, reddit.com/r/poker. The r/poker community on Reddit is a fantastic place to discuss poker strategy, ask questions, and learn from others. Whether you're a beginner or advanced player, you'll find useful resources and insights here. 2. The Poker Subreddit. Advanced Strategies. Website, reddit.com/r/poker. If you're looking for more in-depth discussions on advanced strategies in poker math, the advanced strategy section of Reddit's poker subreddit can provide a wealth. The advanced strategy section of Reddit's poker subreddit can provide a wealth of knowledge. By utilizing these resources, you can continue to build on the concepts we've covered in this book. Mastering poker math and advanced strategies takes dedication, practice, and a willingness to learn from both your successes and mistakes. Keep refining your game, stay disciplined, and never stop learning. The poker table is waiting for your next big move. The poker table is waiting for your next big move. Good luck, and may your bets always be profitable. Damn, fuck that, dude. Fuck that. Alright, so we just got a glossary of terms, which we're not going to include. And that's it. That's it, guys. That's it. That's all she wrote. That is all she wrote. She wrote all that. She wrote it. Check it out. Okay. Well, my eyes are gonna fall out of my head and drip down the sides of my face, and I think that's it. I think that's all we got for tonight. So thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I appreciate it. It looks like we got 4 viewers in the mix. Thank you, 4 viewers. I appreciate you guys watching me struggle through that. This was a true struggle sesh today. We got through to the end. I'm not going to lie. I do not like AI books. They are written in such a way that just like kills me on the inside. I love great writing. I love reading great writing. I love performing great writing. So when I read AI books, it's just like, I just want to just pins and needles in the eye the entire time. I cannot find the energy to perform it. And I'm already low energy with just the coffee I had today. I had more drink upstairs to drink, but I've been locked out, so that's where we're at today. This is after dropping my hard drive on the way down here dude, it's just one thing after another. But hopefully, this next project that we're a part of is better than this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take what we've had so far, edit it down, upload it. Hopefully, it hits the market soon. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how I feel about it at the very end. But I'm not super impressed with the way that this came to a close. I think that conclusion was 100% AI. That's just me. Um, we pulled some of the book and it was like, I don't know, 65% AI, which was lower than I thought it would be, but it's still pretty much a little more than half written by AI, so I'm not super impressed by that. But other than that, that's all we got for tonight. Glad I came on because thank you so much for the follow. I'll put your name up here again. Yo, my man, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that. PowPass69 on YouTube. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And that's all we got for today. I appreciate you guys for popping in for the time being, and hopefully tomorrow when we come back on, we'll have more energy, more oomph, more showmanship going on, and I'm glad that you tried out the following thing on there because I don't think that I've tried to test out to see if somebody follows, what that looks like, what it sounds like. I'd like it if it says a Baba Booey every time. I think that would be fun, but whatever. We'll see what's going on with that, and we'll see how we can optimize Streamlabs. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I appreciate you. Sorry, Kick. I don't see you at all. Um, I don't see you at all, Kick. I'm so sorry. Okay, I see you now, and there's nothing written on there, so that's what I thought. All right, guys, that's it for today. I love you, and I'll see you on the next one. You guys stay classy, and play Texas Hold'em if you're in Texas. You know what I mean? Just go all in. Put it all on red. That's all I'm saying. This is legal.